Hi, AFI Movie Club. I'm Pippa Bianco, and I'm the writer and director of Share and an AFI DWW alumna.
And I'm Ava Berkofsky. I am the cinematographer of Share, and I am an AFI Conservatory alum.
I just woke up on my lawn.
Outside? You woke up outside?
One of the things we thought a lot about was how do you visualize the state of trying to remember? Because I think what she wants above all things is to know what happened. I think it's much easier to structure a story around someone who's obviously active, a perpetrator, than it is to structure a story around the person to whom something happened. A creative mission statement was sort of how can I, as a writer and as a director, find what is active in what people actually do in these situations without imposing a device like a detective or an Avenger or a White Knight or, a revenge plot to artificially activate Mandy as a protagonist. How can I do the work to observe what is very active in what real people do and that we tend to dismiss as passive?
So many of our references were these 70s sort of like heavy, dark films, shimmery neon in puddles to Clute.
Even prison movies like Starred Up. She's increasingly isolated and weighted down by how other people in her life or other bureaucratic systems are spiraling out of her control. And so that the visual language would be that of these sorts of like really dark thrillers where it's like, what's around the next corner? Am I going to lose my life? Those are the stakes, for her psychologically and emotionally.
We never had to talk about it because there was an implicit understanding between us of what it means to lose control of your own narrative as a young person, as a woman in this world.
One of the things we talked about a lot was why anamorphic if we also want to be 16:9, which was, I think, like part of it was like wanting one, like sort of the intimacy of a smaller frame, but also for it to be like digitally native, for it to be the kind of film that would be more exciting to watch on a phone, in which like the digital medium would not be, a hindrance in any way, but you would be making the most of all the things that are cool about being able to watch a story in your hand or with headphones on. That format was important to us for that reason. And then the anamorphic lenses in that format, it was like, yes, strange to crop, but that I think we loved the compression of space and the kind of weirdness that you got in the cropped anamorphic.
Yeah, it's like if you want a claustrophobic feeling, chop off a third and a third. And the way that anamorphic renders things that are close and things that are far, and those lenses created an extra layer of intentionality because it was about a commitment to creating an image that was this size and working against the old school technology to make something that, commented on new technology. It was a process.
I'd been working as a writer's assistant for a long time and I knew I wanted to make a feature. And it was like, well, how do people do that? How do you like convince someone to give you $1 million or millions of dollars? And a lot of the filmmakers I loved, especially at that time, who were like, maybe a couple years ahead, that's a proof of concept of sort of what people were doing, a short in order to make a feature. And so that's what I applied to DWW with this idea. It changed dramatically, I think, from making the short through the process of showing the short at festivals and then writing the feature and then making the feature. It's a completely different film. And I think I'm a completely different filmmaker probably than when I started. But yeah, that was the intention, was to get to reunite again, to make the longer version.
It was one of those projects where you bring your heart and soul to the table, and that's and it just was so raw and honest in that way.
This movie would not exist without AFI, truly. So thank you.